wants to have coffee, tea, but from what I understand, people who are here already have had their coffee and tea. No? Is it so? Well, I'll allow you to take some with you. Dear friends, let's start then. Today we present the School of Benchmarking here. It's a workshop that, in my point of view, could help you to tell about the improvements in efficiency. Let us start. Why do we decide to name our project a school, and why the School of Benchmarking? Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Marianna Danilina, and I'm head of research and analytics in FinTech Association. We also do comparative research within these frameworks. I dedicated more than 15 years of my life to financial institutions, including working in Big Four of consulting, and there I was working in benchmarking and comparative analysis, including ones done in financial field. And in order to improve the operational efficiency and transformation of business processes, including digitalization, comparative research have had seen quite a huge demand on the market, and in order to compare yourself with the leaders, to pick the best parameters, to include them in your goals and strategies. And this niche before up until the last year was occupied by consultants from Big Three and Big Four. We at the Russian market plan to do a lot of interesting things in the niche of IT and tech benchmarking, and my colleague, Andreicheva, will introduce herself now, and she'll tell you why she's ready to teach benchmarking. Dear colleagues, good day to you. I'm happy to welcome all of you. My name is Andreicheva. I'm working in business analytics research under the management of Marianna Danilina. I also have 6+ experience of working in Big Four consulting companies, more than 10 projects that I've done with financial institutions, also some projects from IT practice. I specialize on econometrical and financial models. I have math background. I graduated applied math in economics at the Higher School of Economy, and I was also assistant professor. I went to an affiliate program with CFA Institute to further improve my skills and qualifications in micro and macro modeling. This is my trade, my craft, and we'll be glad to share our expertise with you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Anya. We'll not go higher on you like they do in the school university, but we'll take a very high-level approach and introduction of what is FinTech Association and why is benchmarking in such demand. Raise your hands, please. Who does know what is the FinTech Association? Well, everyone knows very well, so I'll be very brief. I'll tell you that our participants are key financial institutions, the ones that are present here at Finopolis, and more than 60 participants and partners. So we include, as members of our association, not only the companies from the financial market, but also financial infrastructure companies, ones that develop technologies and opportunities for us to be able to use digital and other services, and also insurance companies and tech companies like Yandex and others. If we delve into details, we can do so after the session. And now, on benchmarking itself, the reason why we all got here today. This is a research that allows us to pick perspectives of big leaders, to compare yourself with best market companies, and it also provides deep analytics and market research and review. And in order to do high-quality research, we preliminary get information as part of this information service. We do digests with monitoring of foreign media, including taking a look at foreign research that have international metrics. We also do a market review from the point of view of implementing new technologies such as API, using technologies of ledger, distributed ledger and financial assets, and research on artificial intelligence and everything else related to data exchange. And based on the expertise that we have gathered under the association, under the roof of the FinTech Association, we have an opportunity to compare parameters and figures from the key financial institutions and companies from the financial market, to view them on digital maturity, on their preparedness for IT transformation. We also have availability to IT budget metrics and investment made in technologies. Also, we take a look at the customer journey, and in the prospect, we're ready to even to review each of the products we have in our financial institutions. But today we'll focus on IT and IT efficiency. What is benchmarking? We use this term, and it's a very interesting thing. We get a situation sometimes when our students make a mistake in this word because it came from the English language. It's comparing yourself against or with best key parameters and figures on the market. And what is the goal and purpose of doing so? The purpose is so that we have metrics for not only market leaders. It's just like in our daily life when we take a look at the market or at other people, we pick the leaders, and it's always interesting to follow the leaders' personal lives, their successful career paths that they made, and to a certain extent we identify what discerns him from others, and then we select and pick this difference to improve ourselves better. So, for example, I'm wearing this color of the jacket today. It's clear that I did my internal benchmarking. I've identified the market leaders, and it reminds a lot of best practice among in the polis. And if we discuss IT strategies of our financial companies and institutions this year, we've already conducted several waves of benchmarking. One on digital maturity and technological preparedness. We've also taken a look at key IT metrics, and also now we're at the process of an in-depth research of IT budget in order to compare the fields that Russian market companies invest now and how is this transformation designed from the point of view of distributing IT resources. If we speak about benchmarking from the purpose point of view, asking the question why, please raise your hand. Those who in any means in the companies use digital analytics and are interested in it. Yes, I see that everyone who came exactly for this. And I've already said that comparing yourself with key market parameters is one of the big advantages of that the company can get. We also have a very important purpose that besides comparing between us all, we can also use metrics obtained from the market, from the point of view of market leaders, median values, and the ones that lag behind, and to cascade these goals in the strategic, from the strategic level up until the implementation level and up until the level of operational functions. When we discuss the comparison strategy or benchmarking strategy, I've already said that there are leaders on the market, so we use the methodology where we outline not only metrics that cover the leaders, but also take a look in general the companies that are in the top 25, top 50, top 75%. We'll take a look at the ones who are slow. We'll take a look at the base level and at the industry leaders. This analytics allow us to find our place from the point of view of comparing parameters, and not always companies from the Russian market are able to make a target, to take targets from market leaders. Well, we can compare it with Sberbank, but there's not a single company, almost none on the market, that can ever compare itself with Sberbank from the point of view of budget or the headcount of employees working there. So our research and the relevant selection that we use are categorized by company size, by business models that the company use. And if we compare the biggest financial institutions, we understand that the companies that have the biggest budgets, as we all know, Sber, VTB, and others, will be clearly visible. So we also categorize the peer companies, the companies that we compare, and very often, as per request of our participants, we customize the research, so we do make the selection and we take a look at the companies that they compete with and see themselves that they would like on their own to be compared with. If we discuss how to cascade the metrics obtained on the company's bottom line, we'll give a small example here. We take a look at the two levels. The metrics first level will be the strategic level. We've conducted this research last spring, and we'll also take a look at the operational level, which is a more detailed research, which requires a deeper immersion, and is only available to the participants of our association. So, for the strategic level, the strategic KPI of the IT KPIs in companies you can find in our research that are available. We also publish them on our resources. You can find them at the booths at the stalls in the middle of the room. And from the point of view of deeper immersion methods, the operational IT parameters for this, you need to take part in the research. And today we will offer uh, to have a small query for you if you want to participate in this research, and we'll send you out the specialized questionnaire that later on you'll be able to use it for our metrics database, and you'll also get this personalized report, and we'll have an in-depth discussion and tell you what happened there. And besides us dealing with methodology, we would also develop a portal for our participants so that through personal cabinets, through our participants will be able to get access to research, not just Excels, but done by professional marketologists that's integrated in the portal. So the database that will be gathered to this portal will be kept at a protected server. Now, along with our participants, we work on approaches to making this data anonymized in order to retain confidentiality. We also have agreements, NDA agreements with all our participants that provide for the confidentiality of data provided. At the current moment, we have two directions for developing this benchmarking. First is the tech benchmarking that we have already covered, the Center for Digital Maturity, IT resource distribution, IT investments, and future metrics, including ones that provide for using artificial intelligence. And the second field that we plan to develop in 2024, which is the product benchmarking. Here we already said some things about the customer journey, that it's important for the whole market, and that you will view this process from the point of view of regular people, from the point of view of accessibility of it through various channels, and also from the point of view of interaction between banks, insurance companies, and other companies on the market. And if we speak on what participation in the research could we get, you all have this booklets, leaflets along with you. If you scan the QR code on it, then you'll have access to our poll, our questionnaire. It's only 10 questions, and you will get not a very in-depth analysis, because just by spending 10 minutes you cannot get a very in-depth material, but nonetheless we have this side data, that we have the dashboard that will be uploaded to the platform, and it provides for key IT metrics, and we note what is noticing to you, and it can be IT distribution, artificial intelligence, adaptation of these two companies. We will get in touch with you, because of course here in 40 minutes it's very hard and we will not be able to manage to tell.
However, if to speak shortly then about IT budget, for those who are interested in this research, our research is quite deep in terms of using the budget for IT resources, for hardware and software, for staff and information safety. It's very important for our Russian companies, and I want to emphasize once more that benchmarked was gathering international companies, but now amongst all international companies, Russia is excluded, and we have an access to international benchmarking, and we also look at Gartner company, and doesn't provide the data to Russia. And also we analyze the data of Gartner, which is available for us, and we can compare a Russian market with international market, and we can compare both Russian metrics and Gartner metrics. We have already formed a database on IT budget, and we have researchers on artificial intelligence, and we created large-scale research for Russia, and also we have selection of data on investment and trends. If you are interested about other researchers, you can approach me and we will tell you separately about other researchers. At this slide, you see the assessment of digital maturity, 6 priority directions and researches. First, we research digital products and new business models. Then we research channels and client expertise. Then operational efficiency. At this slide, you see application of artificial intelligence technologies. First pillar of that is IT resources, human resources, and the share of IT experts from the total amount of experts, and the share of data scientists. And also we consider to provide cloud solutions, and we will be performing research on clouds. Now I want to show you our IT solutions, which would allow to use our portal, making it more convenient. Ala, I want also to mention your work with artificial intelligence, because we don't only collect the metrics, but we form it from the point of view of forming, of generation of the code, in order to prepare design and printing. And we also work with graphics with Wolfram package. So let's look at our portal. I'm giving the floor to you, Anna. Thank you. I'm going to tell you that we are quite proud to have realized a prototype on a portal of analytic researchers, and we have realized it with our own efforts, and all the advantages that you are seeing at this slide. These are revealed pains of our participants that we were trying to relieve. First is data safety, because it is indeed a pain of the client, because the law about the data protection of the clients, it's very important. We have very strong employers who provide safety of the data from our portal. Another one, our questionnaire researcher research is very simple, understandable, and it satisfies the demands of the participants. Very often we get requirements for forming of personal reports and comparison of market analytics, and our portal provides this solution, as in that famous paradox: the more rich you are, it doesn't mean that you are happier. But the thing that makes you happier is to understand that you are richer than someone else. Okay, the data about certain company and comparison with the consolidated and aggregated methods are available for a certain company. This is one of the main requirements that we get from our participants. Regarding additional requests, we are ready to consider more personal and customized metrics, and we're also ready to develop benchmarking idea, because this is the way to optimize and increase the efficiency, So, according to your request, we are ready to look at that area. Let's look at the demo version. Okay, first I'll tell you about the client route.
Когда вы попадаете на портал
So when you are at the portal of research and analytics, you see this homepage. Here the information about our association, publications are available, and analytics, and also news service. Our colleagues form information digest and top technologies which are interesting to all the participants. Then we move to the personal account, and we consider certain metrics of the roles, which will consider generated password, and additional metrics and analytics will be available for the participants. Of course, for the members of FinTech Association considers individual reports, and also for those participants of our FinTech portal, they will also have individual calculations. At this portal, you can find the benchmarking interesting for you. And here at our portal, we have distribution of resources from the point of money resource and human resources, and then assess according to the digital maturity and technological preparedness, and then assessment of artificial intelligence technology application. Further, you can choose the interest in research for you. You can fill up this questionnaire. We have tried to make it as close to Excel program as possible. And when we started to realize our portal, first we were doing it in Excel because it's the simplest program, because the Excel is the predecessor of all other programs. We cannot refuse it. And of course, we provide support to our portal with the use of chatbot, because our experience of using benchmarking showed us that we have a certain set of questions which are more often asked by our clients. Also, we have a glossary which we want to include to our technical support, which will be used by all the participants from our portal. Other deep questions, or if our clients need the help of analytic experts, then you can enter a window and get individual support and help. When filling up this simple and understandable question, you will get individual calculation with the calculation of deviations and proportions, which differs from the Russian market and international market. As you see on this slide, also upload in the required format is possible, because benchmarking is needed for such operational method, and you can also make your own additions in that. Also, we plan to realize visualization of deviation calculations for your individual model, and to which degree it is different from our model. Now, I'm suggesting you to go to our portal. Here at the screen, you will see my screen. Dear friends, I'm glad to meet you at the portal of the analytics researchers. This is a prototype, but we are quite proud already, because we have passed a significant way, and work. Now we move to researchers. Let's try to fill one of the tables. Let it be strategies budget. Also, we got requests from our participants that it was not quite clear which table refers to which infographics. Therefore, we considered it and attached each table to each infographics. For example, if we click 10, then we will see the changes. Please pay your attention that the graphs show benchmarking on international and Russian markets and in companies. Each company will have the respective logo. Now at your screens, we're showing you IT resources distribution or IT budget. It is divided on two main areas. These are functionality and budget of the informational safety. This is the selected data which was researched. If we consider budget distribution according to the actives, we see not a significant difference between Russian and international markets, but regarding the budget on human resources, we see deviations from Russian human resources and international. In Russia, we have more staff employers than abroad. In frames of this research, we have succeeded to highlight that the quantity of IT experts in Russia has been growing widely. Before it was around 9%, and now they are 12%, and it is confirmed by international metrics. It is interesting to consider each direction, and it is clear to which company.
Thank you, dear colleagues. I now propose to move into the function. In terms of budgeting per function, we can look per control, per infrastructure, per support, and our request in IT budget is done so that this is a high-level table that is then cascaded in more detailed table, and you can see the in-depth split metrics for each of those high-level parametrics. Yes. I'll also clarify that within the framework of IT budget, first three folders were representing results of budget calculations in rubles. Here, the IT assistants look at the P2E analysis. If we take a detailed look at the research, my colleagues, they might not figure out the methodology. It's quite in-depth, and it requires, regarding the efficiency assessment for IT resource, requires deep immersion. So if it's interesting for you to use this research in your company, then we have some questions on the QR code. If you have any questions, leave your contact data. We will get back to you and we'll tell you how to fill in our questionnaire. It will only be available if you get in touch with us. Yes, thank you. And so I'll ask you to put on the presentation once again. And now I give the floor to Marianna. Yes. You can also give me the clicker, not only just the floor. Thank you very much. This is what I told you about. If you do a small questionnaire, then we'll send you the bank page or dashboard that will show you how your company scores against the metrics that are there in the market now. We can compare it with world and with international parameters. They're based on the data. that are used by key consulting companies in the world. And we don't come up with these metrics, we just use them. And regarding the Russian ones, then we have ones. We also have the resource and interaction with all the participants. How will it look like? How will the personal report look like? And I showed us the foundation, but what we offer is to make a dashboard in PDF, and it's going to be accessible as a page from point of view of the overall metrics and key parameters that include time to market, the share of the share that's in data like adoption and also adoptions, and the share of applications that use the service or the artificial intelligence service. Will also look at the clouds. Will give you the metrics that cover the use of applications with machine learning, such as virtual assistants, chatbots, and others, and also give you metrics on quantity in general. If you have a request to do some detailed research or to take a look at something internal, not only for IT but for other business lines, we'll be ready to customize this research for you, dear friends. Once again, here is the QR code. You can take part in the research if one is going now, and you can also find us through research analytics, through FinTech Association, and for you, the value to leave your data is not only just get access to database and benchmarking of the financial market and to get comparative analytics, but we also provide for development of recommendation metrics, both to companies that will take into account the best practices of companies on the Russian market. And as we still have a workshop, and we would like to give you the floor to ask some questions. If you have these questions, we're ready to answer them, and Anna can also tell you in detail. And in addition, we can go even more in depth. And if you're interested in solutions for your company that you can integrate within the framework of import replacement, we also have here specialists that work with repositories and their development on fintech platform. And the metrics that we get together now, they will be used in solutions that are there on the platform. Oleg is here. Oleg, show yourself, please. If you have any questions regarding IT questions that are there in the market that we work with, and the metrics that we use for assessing the functionality and repositories, we synchronize them with the Ministry of Digital. You know that they all undergo their IT, and also we're synchronized with a lot of metrics that the Ministry of Digital has included in their portfolio. They're there in foreign research, and also we keep on monitoring them, but with a more in-depth level. So, dear friends, if you have any questions on benchmarking, if you have any questions on other operations of FinTech Association, we are ready to answer them. And a small thing that we prepared for you, and I can also tell you about the research that we plan to do on for products. Yes, dear colleagues, we're glad to tell you about the new stream that we plan to launch, and within the framework for methodology, we plan to keep on looking on the product benchmarking and comparing IT metrics and digital maturity, and this we'll also take a look at the customer journey, and we'll take a look at all the points where the customer interacts with the banking product, and we'll take a look at how can we improve it and what's there on the market. We plan to take a look at most importantly, the banking products that exist, the existing accounts, deposits, some credits and loans, and here we will really value your feedback. So please get in touch with us and tell us what are the relevant solutions for you, and what kind of benchmarking would you like to take a look at. I also plan to add to this that by benchmarking is usually seen as something very skeptical, so I think it's really interesting to take a look and to compare the self with your neighbor. But when you fill in This forms it requires a lot of time. We'll have our own operational tasks, and I'll allow me to warn you that first things first, FinTech associations, they carry out support through all the period of doing the benchmarking, and we're ready to answer all your questions. Besides, we can call this benchmarking and comparative research analytics. It was always there, and we think of competition as foundation for everything, foundation for progress. So you need not to be afraid to identify your growth zones, points where you could do some things better, and we're ready to help you, assist you, and to point at the directions that, of course, will be just the directions that we recommend you to take a look at. And here, getting back to what Anna said, that we also help and assist with this kind of operational work and things that we undergo through this period in research. We have very beautiful analysts. We have lots of specialists that will help you take part from the point of view of filling in the questionnaires. And when you do something for the first time, we have some questions on methodology. Besides, this methodology is described in questionnaires. It's perceived better and easier when we have a face-to-face conversation, and we can also do it offline. Dear friends, thank you very much for coming. I can see that colleagues who reached us, thank you very much. We can answer these questions. Those of you who came, I can once again say that we had the benchmarking school. We talked about comparative research that we do on the platform of the FinTech Association and development of the portal, if it's the analytics that makes us the research and metrics available for our participants. Can you please tell us who represents banks here? Almost everyone. And who represents insurance companies? Almost none. So, dear friends, thank you. Besides making a focus on IT, it's going to be also interesting to you what Anna said last year, and Olga Nikolai also the previous session said about the customer journey and how it's integrated from the point of view of market participants, the seamless customer journey. And one of the tasks is when we work on products, and we do this for credit cards and accounts, and of course it's done in consumer loans. But here I would like to get feedback from you. What other products are could possibly be interesting to you? It's well. Sorry, I did not hear the questions. We can see the questionnaire now, so we can discuss on what kind of bank you represent. Sorry, we can't hear you. Alpha Bank. Well, thank you. How can I help you from point of view of production benchmarking? We had questions whether there is some industry-related specifics, whether you outline leaders, because on the one hand you can take a benchmark on the market, on the other hand you can take a look at the market leaders, and if you have some categorization per size of the company, and if we talk about some macro-financial organizations, it would not be the right way. Well, of course, if you were listening to us, I did we do some research. We research the median parameters. When we take a look at the market leaders, we understand really well that if we take the matrix, even if we depersonalize data, we'll still always understand that it is per bank. And of course, we do have this approach when we identify the so-called outliers, the highest parameters in the market and the lowest parameters in the market, and out of which we calculate the median values. So the baseline can be calculated from point of view of the outliers, and we'll take a look at the leaders that for every participant of the industry, these are different companies, and they take a look at this from the leader point of view, and small banks take a look at alpha. And most often we discuss about interaction with our members and participants of the association, and we can make a set of companies that usually use something as strategic planning, what they compare themselves with to show the benchmark. It's clear that we depersonalize it, but nonetheless, this data that you use in your that you compare with, they give you this in the same spice. So this is the meaning of for customizing the benchmark and taking part in this. And you are also part of our. You can also become part of our association. We invite you for our amazing event. We can tell you about this. And next year we'll launch a working group on products. And have I answered your question? Yes, thank you. I'll allow myself to add to Marianna's question, to have a question to identify, because understand that the results and the efficiencies, the group that we compare with, and if we state the company in the business model, we'll also take a look at the level of maturity of processes, about what's already been implemented, and the participants with whom it would be interesting to compare with. And using this case, I would also like to invite you to take part in our benchmarking. And thank you very much for participating in our workshop. We've seen your interest, and we hope for active alpha participation in our future research. Do you understand that you like this very much? Yes. Do you have any questions on comparative analytics and portal? Yes, we'll give you the floor now. Yeah, just to continue the previous question. Can I ask you to introduce yourself? My name is Sergey Pashko. I'm financial head of GRAS, producer of cleaning and detergents and household chemical companies. You've said that we can pick a company, let's say from an industry that you're interested in. So to do this comparative analysis, it turns out that these companies have to also be connected to your association. They have to also be part of this program. Now we're talking about the portal. Well, the philosophy is that it's a bit different, and it's not only for the participants, it's for level of access to data. And here, the current moment, it's accessible on our portal, and in the future, we plan to use it along with the analytics model. And you, as market participant, can go on this portal, sign for certain research, to take part in some research that's available for the market. You'll get data in non-anonymized format. If you want to do some customization or a more detailed, then they'll have some packages like it's usually done, or per business model, or the subscription business model, or you pay and become a participant.
Здесь в зале тоже есть, я вижу, люди, которые отвечают за развитие бизнеса.
People who are responsible for business development. Our colleague Tatiana will tell you in details which format of the participation is supposed to be. And it's not only these questions, but also related to technology. So this is a very small share of those tasks which are realized under care of our company. Dear friends, our time is over. If you still have questions, we will answer them later. Yes, like in school, we will give you homework, because it is indeed the school of benchmarking, and it's because we are adhering to best practices. Friends, for those who haven't listened to this course, you can connect to our, you can write to us, and we will give you more information. And to communicate with you on this topic further. We are at the third floor in the center of Innopolis, and we will give you more information. And we have other participants on other directions area, like informational safety, and we are expert in all those topics that Olga Nikolaevna mentioned on the main session. Until the end of this year, we have a product which is called 3 multiply 10 trends. Please come to our stand. Thank you for coming here. And actually, I think we have to regulate this schedule. So if you still have questions, please write to us and address to us.